Hello, welcome to my lecture. I am Sanskriti Charise. Firstly, I would like to start my lecture with a poster. I would like to explain a few things about my poster as I'm giving lecture on the topic Nepal and tea export. So here is the few things about the poster that I have made. Here is a poster, as you can see. So in this part of the poster, I have shown the geographical structure of the country. As we know, Nepal is very rich in high mountains. So here is the high mountains, and over here this is a tea plantation field where farmers are picking up the tea leaves for the further process of the tea making process. And over here you can see the Nepali context, because when you go deeper in the villages of Nepal, you can find out the houses like this. And over here you have few people staying together, like sitting together and drinking tea. Well, tea is one of the drink that socializes people in Nepal. It is used as the welcome drink in Nepal. Because whenever you go to somebody's home as a guest, the first thing they offer you is tea. That's it. I've explained the geographical and cultural part. Here I have explained about the tea processing. So I've mentioned like 5 districts of eastern Nepal, which is also known as the tea zone of Nepal. So these 5 zones produce a large number of tea, and so let me start with the tea processing. So first of all, the tea leaves are picked, they are withered, and they go under the steaming process, and then they are rolled. And apart from that, the tea leaves are dried, and the second last part is they are graded and they are packed, and the final product is ready. It's ready to go in the market. So now let me go deeper into my presentation. Firstly, I would like to give a short introduction to business in Nepal. Nepal's economic freedom score is 53.8, making its economy the 136th freest in the 2019 index. Now let me talk about the trade scenario of the country. So trade policy was firstly introduced in Nepal in 1992. In this period, trade was liberalized, and to optimize the benefit from this liberalization, trade policy was introduced. But this trade policy did not work out much. So in 2009, new trade policy was introduced. Because the previous trade policy did not address the challenges and did not utilize opportunity created from integration of Nepalese trade and economy at multilateral, regional and bilateral level. Like how can we do the trade? So there should be a certain treaties with like certain countries to make the trade possible, or import or export possible. So for the import and export, Nepal signed Indo-Nepal Treaty in 1950. According to this treaty, the government was done that both countries can do bilateral trade, and also trade can be done transiting Indian soil. So this is a good news. And apart from this, Nepal has also signed the bilateral trade treaties with 17 other countries, including United States, United Kingdom, Russia, South Korea and many more. Now, let's come into the sad part, or the intervention in the business and economic situation of the country. So the intervention was done by the civil war, the Maoist attack. The Maoist attack was there in 1996, which lasted for almost a decade. Especially in 6 districts of the Midwestern Development Region, there was a huge influence or huge intervention. And not only those districts, eventually this hampered throughout the whole country. Eventually the most of the country was hampered by this civil war or this attack. And this Maoist attack This Maoist attack took its peak in 2000, killing 10,000 people. So as a result of this, there are like reasons where still these reasons are still economically backward. I would like to now move on to history of tea. Well, it is said that Elam was the first district to produce the tea, but it is also said by historians that the first tea bushes in Nepal were grown from seeds which were gifted to then Prime Minister by a Chinese emperor. So it is said that it came from that the seed. So that's how the beginning of the tea industry started. But sadly, tea industry did not long last. Beginning of the tea industry, it did not long last. It failed to grow because of the political turmoil at that point, at that period of time, and also because of the economic policies. But after the democratic movement which took place in 1950, the floor was open for investment in the tea industry, which resulted in the inflow of public and private investment on tea production industry. So the stop tea industry was once again started like flowing. And first tea plantation at private sector in Tarai was established in 1959 and was registered with the name of Buddha Current Tea State. And another thing is Nepal Tea Development Corporation was also introduced by government of Nepal to aid the development of the tea industry. And another thing is, and after the Nepal Tea Development Corporation was established, first ever factory was set up in Elam for the processing of tea leaves. And from the 1978 to the 1990s, where democracy was introduced, various efforts were made by Nepal Tea Development Corporation to encourage the participation of small and marginal farmers in the growth of production of tea as a cash crop. This Nepal Tea Development Corporation brought a lot of efforts, it did a lot. And then slowly this not flowing tea industry was evolving into a fully commercialized industry, benefiting the country's economic and socio-economic development. I would shortly want to give the export situation of Nepal. Well, in 2016 and 17, Nepal exported tea which is worth $22.72 million. Isn't that fantastic? Okay, well, and the export raised by 26.5% to $20.09 million in the first 7 months of the current fiscal year 2016 and 17. And Eastern districts exported 3.5 million kgs of orthodox tea, which is worth $10 million. And it also exported CTCT crushed curl, which was worth 7.1 million kg, and which is also worth $6.50 million. The tea export was going on well until the political instability and natural disaster came together. In April 2015, this massive earthquake shattered Nepal, killing 9,000 people, which also means it has also decrease the number of manpower involved in this industry, or as a whole people who are involved in economic activity, which is very bad. So during this earthquake period, our GDP, the Nepal's GDP lowered by over 1.5%, and estimated 4.6% in a no earthquake scenario in fiscal year 2015 and 16. So in 2015 itself, after this massive earthquake, there was a border blockade. This border blockade like hampered the whole country, because when there was a border blockade, the gas, I mean the petrol, it was all blocked by so countries economic activity was like from this to it went to this because of this blockade. The overall trade has shrunk by US dollar 1.115 billion, which is huge. Like just in between first 5 months, mid-July to mid-December, people had like faced many problems, and people could not travel properly because they could not get this petrol. People could not eat properly because they did not have enough gases to like cook food or anything, which literally hampered the economic activity of the country. And the sad part was the export decreased by 30.7%. So let me just explain the few complications of the tea industry itself. Well, as we all know, Nepal is very least developed country, where people are very most of the people are still illiterate. They are not used to this modern techniques. So this would definitely hamper the tea farmers as well, and the producers, because they still rely on traditional farming and production techniques as well. And another part is there are considerable external debt. Nepal has a lot of debt, and this chronic political instability has also hampered the economic situation of a country very badly. So now let me quickly tell about the good news about the trade scenario of the country, because in 2018 China and Nepal has agreed to establish a rail link. Isn't that a good news? The export will not only be limited to transportation, but also it will go through a rail link. In the part of solution, I would like to give an example of this cooperative, which is named as Tinjure Tea Farmer Cooperative. This cooperative was established in 1919. This cooperative was established in 1993. At the beginning, there were only 46 members and 46 founders, and there were only 2 women. But now the cooperative has 250 members with 80 women involved in management and cooperations. And members of the cooperative have also learned to successfully process and market the tea. Well, that is the end of my lecture. Thank you.